Hey guys, this is Mike from All Things Helium, heliumsetup.com. And today I wanted to kind of go over a few things. I've been reading a lot of the forums and the Discord, and it seems like there's a bit of confusion on some of the connection types of these different units, as well as the setup for the antennas. So, one thing that I wanted to clarify is this is if you want to set it up outside, if you want to increase your antenna range and improve your antennas from the ones that are stock that come with the units. So I ended up ordering some myself, and I'm gonna kind of go through some of the ones that I got, so you guys can get an understanding of the connection types and whatnot. So I actually bought the 8 dBi as well as the 5.8 dBi connections. Excuse me, antennas. And they also have different connections. That's why I mentioned connections. And so let's go ahead and look at the first one here. So this is the 5.8 dBi one. Here's the connectors for that. So as you can see here, the connection type for this is a N-type female connection. So you can see the threading on this, and then if you look inside, there's a opening for the needle from the male connector, but this actually just has almost like a pit, receiving pit for it. And so this is the N-type female connection, and it also comes with a nice little bracket. Most of them do, so you can mount it. I won't go into too much details. We'll probably have another video to kind of go into those details. But as you can see, you mount it on here. It gets pretty snug once you tie it in. Um, and then these actual connectors go on the back, and they're called U-bolts, and they would go on the back and they would connect to your mounting pole. But as I said, we'll go over that in another video. Um, and then I also have this other one. This is the 8.0 dBi. And so this connection actually is a N-type female. So I got two different connectors just for demonstration purposes. And as you can see, there's a needle in there, right in the middle. And then you also have the threading on the inside. So this antenna would actually have to have a female connector to it. Now, there's also different types of mounting brackets because of the fact that it is different. So just take a quick glance at those. So as you can see, there's different mounting brackets that tie this down, um, as well as this other one here. These are also just for demonstration purposes. Usually it only comes with one. You can pick either one, and I'm not sure which one the RaK-Wireless comes with, but I believe the RaK-Wireless and the Parley Labs websites, as well as Nebra, they are selling these units with the male N-type male connectors. So I'll go over this one just for the demonstration purpose. And so if you have a N-type male connector, what you need to connect that to is going to be first, which has been really recommended across the board from everyone that you talk to, is a grounding unit. So I bought a few different kinds and two different connectors for these. Um, so I have one that's actually a N-type female to N-type female grounding, or they call this either coaxial lightning surge protector or grounding unit. And so what this would do is, if you were to connect it directly to this, so this is this is the N-type male, and they'll connect to the female. The female is the threaded side. What this would do is this created a female on the other side of this. So you're actually changing the connection. And if you were to do that, that would then connect to and here's the actual cable that I'm using. This cable is pretty good quality cable. I ended up getting the LMR 400, which I think also goes by CFD 400. If you can see that in there, CFD 400. So this wire has the male connector on it, and you would connect that to the female side. So I've essentially changed the connection type that's coming out of the unit, out of the antenna, and made it a female connection type. So, depending on what type of wire you end up getting, I would just recommend actually sticking with the other type of connector and I'll show that to you guys right now. And that's the one that has the female to male connection, because essentially you're not changing the configuration when you get these. And I think the female to female might be a little harder to find online. I'm not too sure, but just some information on that. So this way, if you do connect it with the male to female, you end up with a N-type male on the backside of it. So you're really not changing the configuration. And that all depends on what type of wire you get. So going now into the next piece, which is the wire that you would connect to your miner. So in this case, I connected I have a male N-type male coming out of there. So I would need an N-type female. And I also got this one as for demonstration purposes. So this N-type female would connect directly to your male. And so tie it like that, get it snug. And then the backside of this would actually be the connection that goes into your miner. And this is the one that would go into the RaK as well as the Bobcat. And I believe the Nebra as well. They have not come out with a picture official yet. It's still just a stock photo. But based on the specifications, it looks like it's going to be a similar connection. So it would be this, what's known as the RP-SMA. So as you can see here, there's no needle inside, and it is a male connector, and that would connect to the female connector coming out of your miner. So again, if you end up getting a LMR 400 wire, which is supposed to be the best in terms of loss, it's supposed to reduce it's a low loss cable, so you won't have too much loss in terms of the dBi or the frequency that's the way that it's getting sent out in terms of how strong the signal will be. So I recommend this wire, and then make sure it's either N-type male or N-type female to the RP-SMA male connection. So this is always going to be an RP-SMA, at least for the units that I mentioned. And specifically, from what I'm aware, is Bobcat as well as CalChip. And then the connector here, depending on what type of lightning protector that you get, this is going to end up connecting to your unit. So as again, N-type female, connect to an N-type male, and then you're going to connect that directly to, get that snug, get that directly to your antenna, which in this case, I ended up selecting the N-type male connector. And so there it is. Now, you're not done yet. So one other thing you need to do is you got to make sure that this unit's actually grounded. So this is the grounding unit, but you got to have it connected. And so what I recommend is this 10 gauge grounding wire, bare copper. And so this is pure copper inside. As you can see, it's pretty thick. And if you would essentially put this directly into this little opening here, and that's what grounds the unit. And so you would connect the back end of however far you end up using from the coil to either a water pipe or something where you can actually ground the unit itself. So make sure you don't forget this step, because if you don't ground it, you can actually damage your miner and damage the electricity in your house. So this is an important step. So again, thank you for watching. And if you guys have any questions, please leave them below. But this was a demonstration of the different connections, and please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much.